All these rejections from the middle Bollinger Band.
Resistance we're going to need.
If you actually see here, we get a
And we'll look for a healthy higher
I
low.
would not
don't have
be
the
convinced
pullback
to
to
enter
cross
long trade.
Hey everyone, checking back in on the cryptocurrency space and certainly not putting out daily videos these days as there's not a whole lot of daily action. Yesterday we had the news of the ETF being removed, but that was certainly a call for everybody to start putting out content into the cryptocurrency space again. So rather than jump on that wave, I figured it's a non-event, so why even make the content? You guys already saw the news from 100 different other people. The ETF was pulled, the market didn't care. That tells us that the market already priced in the possibility or the probability of that ETF not passing. And that's what we've been saying for a long time. It's not likely to pass. Fortunately, the market priced that in, so we saw a non-event reaction. The answer as to why they pulled it coming out of their mouth in terms of an interview that I saw was they pulled it because the government is shut down. They were in the process of working back and forth with the SEC to address the SEC's concerns with manipulation and things like that. And once the government shut down, that pretty much came to a halt. So I do believe they plan on refiling again, but at this point, it's off the table. So Bitcoin, daily inside bar, extremely tight range, continuing to watch the daily exponential resistances. Again, I have no interest in the bulls on Bitcoin unless we can break the daily lower highs. Right now, that's up at 37.66, and our key support is down at the low of this pullback, 34.25. So a wide range that we've been within for about 2 weeks, and pretty much just patiently waiting and watching the exponential resistance on the daily and the clear daily lower high. 4-hour time frame, and if you look at this 4-hour chart, we've pretty much been within this range. If we just, mark our high, our low and our high here, the candlesticks on the 4-hour time frame have been closing within this range for about 4 days in a row now. So I'm watching 36.15, which is a little double top, 36.12 and 36.15, and the key short-term support is 35.23. At this point, bears are probably going to pounce on it if we break 35.23, as that will be just another 4-hour lower high and lower low if that breaks. And if we get the bull break, there's some decent space to the upside, about $150 before we get to the resistance at 37.66, that key daily resistance. So depending on what you're watching, you're either watching the short-term channel, this 4-day channel, or the longer-term channel, the 2-week channel that we just looked at on the daily time frame. So checking in on Litecoin, and Litecoin stood out today as more bullish and didn't even need to look at the LTC BTC chart to see that Litecoin bulls had better positioning, and it was really just the 4-hour time frame. So looking at the 4-hour time frame on Litecoin, we could see that the bulls were close to resistance of 32.20, and there's a lack of resistance after that until 33.15 key resistance. We ended up getting the bull break on the 4-hour time frame, but we double topped at 33.15. That is the key resistance, and it's also the daily resistance, which we'll look at in just a second right now. But we had, that's not what I want to, I got a trophy. So we had the 4-hour time frame heading up to resistance. Look at the volume spike, and that volume spike occurred before we broke resistance. 32.20 ended up being a little top. Let's zoom in for that volume, and we can see the volume was on the bull break. Psychology of a cup and handle pattern with the left side of resistance, the consolidation, a double top unable to break, healthy consolidation for a little handle, and then a big volume spike for the bull break here. But the bottom line is if we look at Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame, we never even came close to breaking 36.15, our top up here. And so that was a very distinct difference where Litecoin got the break of resistance and then saw a 3% move following it. So nice to recognize that. We had a couple members pointing out that Litecoin was showing relative strength compared to Bitcoin. And again, all it took was a glimpse at the daily chart to see, wow, if Litecoin can break 33.15, there's a lack of resistance, and that breaks our little lower high that we set just a couple weeks ago. So Bitcoin is a ways away from breaking its daily resistance, but right now Litecoin right at that level with a double top, and we'll see if we can get a break into tomorrow. And if we do, if we get the bull break of 33.15, we then zoom out to the weekly time frame and continue to watch the weekly exponential resistance, which rejected the last bounce attempt. Ethereum on the daily chart, also trading sideways, but a little bit weaker. A lack of follow through. Look at all these daily resistances. We've got 132.38, 126.30, and now 119.50. There's more daily resistance on Ethereum than there is on Litecoin and Bitcoin right now. Those two names only have to break one level, and Ethereum has to break 3 levels essentially. So out of those three, if I had to rank them, Litecoin's the strongest, Bitcoin is number 2, and Ethereum is number 3. 4 hour has to clearly change the trend. We have our low of the pullback, high of the bounce, higher low, and we're watching 119.50 key short-term resistance for the bulls to try and shift momentum. So we have a sideways channel on the 4 hour time frame from the last 4 days, and the daily channel is more of a down slope here, whereas Litecoin on the daily is pretty much straight across. So some distinct differences between those individual names. XRP also still weak with the daily exponential resistance. I'm watching the key level on the daily of 3.5. Anything under 3.5, bulls don't prove anything. That's the prove it line in the sand level. 4 hour time frame, we have our low, high of the bounce, higher low, and unable to break 327 resistance, which is now almost a triple top here. 318 is key support. So just like I said, Bitcoin, the bears are looking to act on 3523 breaking. The XRP bears are looking to act if 318 breaks. And if we lose any momentum on the 4 hour time frame, that would just be a lower high and lower low. So key 4 hour supports are standing out. Bulls want to hold those levels overnight into tomorrow and try and make those their way to the daily resistance. TRX USDT daily inside bar, but the bulls certainly still maintaining control. If we lose the 4 hour uptrend, which is still intact at this point, 256 is our last support level. Bulls are trying to form another higher low here. It's essentially an equilibrium with our high of 272, our low of consolidation of 256, our lower high of 271, and now the bulls are trying to see healthy higher low and then continuation. This is the strongest name out of all of the 4 that we just looked at, all of the 5. And it's the 4 hour uptrend that we're keeping an eye on. If we lose the 4 hour uptrend, we zoom out to the daily and we look for a higher low to form compared to 2288, which was the last daily higher low. So a much different story, much different setup on the 4 hour and daily time frame for TRX USDT, which makes it stand out as a lead bull. Let's order them right now. This is the order that I would give them on the 4 hour and daily time frame from strongest to weakest. BNB USDT still trading sideways. If I were in a swing position on the daily chart, I'd be using 624 as my stop. I'd put my stop just below that level. And in terms of key resistance, we have to see a break of 664. So this is the range that we've been within for the last 7 days at this point. 4 hour time frame getting very tight as well, pretty much just trading sideways. You can see the triple bottom down at 624, and we've got resistance at 652, 653, and then up to 664. So again, just sideways trading, very uneventful couple of days here, but a break will be imminent, and we have to ensure that there's a volume spike when we get that break. And you can see the volume right now pretty level at about 1.8, 1.9 million a day. And if we get a clear bear or bull break, we would expect to see over 2.5 million coins traded on that day if it has meaningful follow through. ADA USDT, second daily inside bar in a row. So that tells us we have a 4 hour tightening pattern here as well. We've got our low of the pullback, which is a double bottom at 4.1. We've got our high of the bounce, higher low at 4.2. And we're watching to see if we're going to set a lower high compared to 4.4 and stay in this tightening range just like everybody else. If we lose the 4 hour higher low pattern, that's a short-term bear signal. We look at the daily time frame, and we're going to have to see a break of 4.6 in order to break the daily lower high. We've got our high of the bull move, low of the pullback, lower high, higher low. So tight on the 4 hour, tight on the daily. Breaks imminent, but again, volume spikes have to occur with these breaks for us to believe that there's going to be follow through associated with them. And of course, any break that we see on an individual name before Bitcoin breaks, we want to see Bitcoin break in that direction as well to give that follow through as well. So I appreciate you watching. That's where we stand going forward. We're going to check in on another video of Iceland. I hope you're doing good things out there. It's nice and cold out there. So whether it's humans or animals, give some animals some food, some bird feeders, give some humans some blankets, and have a good day. Don't know what that means. All right, come on here. What's going on? Touch screen, screwing everything up. Back to the trophy. There we go. Oh, gee. Shut up. Shut up. Get off my screen. Leave me alone. No. Nope. 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 Okay.